ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। व्याप्तिर्यस्य निजे निजेन मनसा पक्षे सपक्षे स्थिति व्यावृत्तिश्च विपक्षतोत्थ विषये शक्तिर्न वै बाध्यते। नैवास्ति प्रतिपक्षयुक्तिरतुलं शुद्धं प्रमाणं समे भूयात् तत्त्वविनिर्णयाय भगवान् आनन्दतीर्थो मुनिः। श्रीमात् आनंद तीर्थार्य सन्मनस्सरसि भुवि अनुव्याख्यान नलिने चंचरी कति मे मनः सनातनं रूपम इहोपदर्शयन् आनंद सिंधु परितः प्रवर्धयन् अंधस्तमस्तोम सराजतां चैतन्य रूपो विदु। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome you all for the next session of Vedānta Syamantaka. Brajavedanath Prabhu, you were not present last week.
I was not present for many weeks, Prabhu, but I have caught up with all the videos online.
Okay, yes, Prabhuji. So gradually, if there are any questions also, we will take it up.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. So anybody can recollect what was the discussion last week? So the first thing was that Vishnu, Narayana, we saw the word Narayana, what it means. It means among the Naras, who is the topmost, who is the supreme among the Naras, who is the shelter of the Naras, who is the destination of all human beings. So he is known as Narayana. Now it was observed that different limbs like Mahesha and Indra, all of them, in a way, they denote Narayana only, supreme, because who is the Maha Isha? There is nobody greater than Narayana anyway. So anyway, all these names denote him only. So it can be argued that all of them can be considered supreme. What is the problem? So we saw that how each of them are different posts, whereas Narayana is actually a person. Those posts can be occupied by different people at different stages, whereas the position of Narayana is not there. Rudra, when he was born, he was crying because he did not have name, and by Namkarana Samskara, his sin was erased. So that is one thing we saw. Now, there are some pastimes which I did not tell last time. So that are mentioned in short, actually, not in detail. Once it so happened that Rudra, he suddenly he hit a bow, he hit an arrow, and that went to the place where Naranarayana Rishi were there, and it started attacking. It attacked them, and Narayana Rishi responded. Narayana Rishi responded to that, and then a war started. A war started between Shiva and him. The war went so huge. Then finally, Brahma had to intervene and say that you must take shelter of Narayana. There is no other way. Otherwise, you will be destroyed. So, in this way, the Lord Shiva had to actually take shelter of Narayana, and he was saved from that. Then there is one more incident of him becoming Kapali. That is, yes, Prabhuji, you have something to say.
Why did he attack Narayana?
The whole pastime I'm not able to recollect, but it is in Mahabharata. One thing is, he just shot an arrow and that went in that direction. So the details of that I will find it out, Prabhuji. By today, end of lecture only, I will tell you about it.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes. Once it happened that by tapasya, Brahma got a fifth head. Apart from four heads, he got a fifth head. And that fifth head was actually severed by Shiva. And because it was severed by Shiva, then what happened is that he got the sin of it and he got the Brahmahatya Shapa. And because of the Brahmahatya Shapa, he had to uh, get the title Kapali, means he is a person who wears the garland of skeletons or garland of skulls. So uh, that was there. And later on, just a minute. Okay, I am not able to search it. So later on, by the uh, mercy of Vishnu, that he sprinkled the tirtha, the charnamrita on his head. That way he was relieved from this shapa, is what it is said. And here one more incident is mentioned about Krishna getting samba. So how about that? He worshipped Lord Shiva and got samba. So what happened is that when uh, Krishna begot Pradyumna through Rukmini, she got pregnant and she got her first child, Pradyumna. That time Satyabhama was unhappy because she did not have a child. So she requested, I also need a child, so you do something. So then it was told that they should worship Lord Shiva, do tapasya and worship Lord Shiva, then they will have a child. So Krishna, what he did is he went to Himalayas and there he got the Rudra mantra. He got the Shiva mantra as Diksha and then he started meditating on the Shiva mantra. He started worshipping the Lord Shiva with that meditation and he performed severe austerities in that regard. So, by the performance of those austerities, Rudra was satisfied and he granted him the what is that? He granted him the benediction that he will have a son. And in this way, Samba was born through Satyabhama. Okay. So then Parvati Devi also gave him a benediction that he will be prosperous. So in this way, both Shiva Parvati were satisfied and they got this. Now that is a question that is raised. So how can you say that he is supreme when this thing is happening? So, what we should understand is that these are pastimes of the Lord because Lord comes here to demonstrate dharma. He demonstrates dharma, and in the process of dharma, the Vedic method is to please the corresponding deities by performing sacrifices. And in this way, by performance of sacrifices, when the deities are pleased, naturally they will offer their benedictions. इष्टान भोगान हि वो देवा दास्यन्ते यज्ञ भाविता तैर्दत्तन प्रदायभ्यो ये भुंक्ते स्तेन एव च. So whatever the devatas give, that is because of their satisfaction on of this satisfaction as a result of the sacrifices that are given to them. So when we offer sacrifices to them, they are satisfied and they give the material results. So he has to demonstrate this. So for that he has done this pastime, the Supreme Lord of of having a child, because he says yadi aham navarteyam, if I only don't perform my prescribed duties, then people will follow my path. Mama vartaman vartante manushya partha sarasha. So for the sake of being a role model for others, he had to do this thing, is what we understand from this pastime. Similarly, we also discussed how uh, this how Brahma got his position by performance of austerities. Similarly, Lord Shiva got his position by once offering everyone. He offered himself and all the Jiva Tattvas, all the living entities, as an offering to Yajna. And because of that offering, he got the position of being Shiva. So that is so none of them are independent. Actually, all of them are completely dependent on the Supreme Lord. So Lord himself has different energies and they are acting, and everyone else is different, dependent on the Supreme Lord. So we saw different Shastra Pramanas for that, and we saw the concept of Vishesha. What is the concept of Vishesha? Bheda Bhavepi Bheda Vyavaharam Vishesham. So even when there is no difference, when we can't apparently see difference, still we, as a matter of dealing, as a matter of convenience, we describe things slightly differently, slightly specially. So that special dealings are called Vishesha. So just like silk cloth, there is no, you cannot separate silk from cloth. If you remove the silk, it will no more remain cloth at all. So silk cloth is a silk cloth because silk and cloth are together. Visheshana, Vishesha Bhava, adjective and noun are together. So you cannot separate the noun and the adjective separately. But still, while dealings, we consider them different. So similarly, the forms of the Lord, the different avatars of the Lord, they are also having Visheshana, Vishesha Bhava. They are just considered as a matter of conviction, as a matter of convention only. There is a difference, we say. I mean, speciality. There is a special form as Sri Rama, there is a special form as Sri Krishna, there is a special form as Narayana, whereas factually, we don't discriminate between the forms, saying that one is a bigger God or one is a less God. So these are the things that we discussed. Okay. Now, a Lord can have 2 hands, Lord can have 4 hands, Lord can have 1,000 hands, Sahasra, Shirsha, Purusha. So, any of these forms are there. They are all Supreme Lord only. We should never consider that any of them are not Lord. They are all Supreme Lord, just that by the concept of Vishesha, they are dealt with specially. That is what we understand from this section, which Radha Damodar Goswami explains very nicely. Before we move ahead, any doubts in this regard?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Roshan Prabhu, you please ask. This is your first class.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. In the previous session,
Your voice is very low.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Is it now clear?
Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, in the previous session, you explained how means Vishesha applies to the many forms of the Lord, and you also explained the purport of the Bhagavad Gita 18.65. So there Prabhupada tells us to only worship Krishna. So can you explain that again also? And also the purport of Bhagavad Gita 2.2, where Prabhupada says that even Narayana cannot fully declare that he has all the opulences. So can you also explain that?
Yeah, so in the Shastras it is mentioned Neha Nanasti Kinchana, means you cannot differentiate between different forms of the Lord. Okay, but devotee in pure devotion, it is mentioned in the 12th, in the 11th chapter end, that this form, 200 form, is very rare and can be achieved by pure devotion. So the idea is that Kala Purusha Rupa, the universal form, that may be achieved by yogis, whereas 200 form is achieved by pure devotion. So those who are in the path of pure devotion, they are more concentrating on this 200 form. That doesn't mean that we can say one form is stronger than the other. So Prabhupada is telling the highest goal, that when you are on the pinnacle of pure devotion, that is when you can actually realize the 200 form of the Lord. So he is setting the target for us, and that way he is telling, he is not discriminating between the forms. That is the thing. Which is the second reference that you gave in the Bhagavad Gita?
Prabhuji, Bhagavad Gita 2.2.
What it says?
Yeah, it says, Prabhuji, that even Narayana cannot declare that he has all the opulences.
Yes. So it is not by the concept of difference. See, there is a concept of Bheda. Between me and Narayana, there is a Bheda. I don't have all the opulences. Between me and Krishna, there is a Bheda. I don't have all the opulences. Correct. That is why there is a difference between us. Whereas between Narayana and Krishna, there is no difference. There is just that conventional appearance or speciality. So Krishna demonstrates certain special features like Venu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri. So these, the holding the flute, the beautiful form. So these special things are the divine pastime of Rasa Leela. These special things are manifested by Krishna in his form, two-handed form. So that is special which Narayana doesn't demonstrate. So on the concept of Vishesha, it is considered that Krishna's form is special. Okay, so it is not that it is less potent or that is more potent. So this concept we have to understand. Is that okay?
So Prabhuji, it is not about the ability. It is just that the Narayana
He
doesn't
wants
express
pastimes to happen. If Vishnu is the only avatar that comes, you cannot have the intimacy of Rasalila, or you cannot have the Vatsalya Bhava that somebody is chastising him. He wants the pastimes to happen. That is why the different Vishesha forms are there for the manifestation of pastimes.
Okay, Prabhuji, all clear. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Vrajavinuttu. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, last class you were explaining about Anavastha dosha. I was a little curious about it. Can you please explain a little more the infinite regression?
Infinite regression. Infinite regression means it goes into an infinite loop. It doesn't break. You are not able to break it. So can you recollect in what context I explained the infinite regression? It is about if you don't accept Vishesha, it will lead to infinite regression, right?
Correct. If you don't accept the Vishesha, it will go into infinite regression. You started speaking about a cotton and cloth. I could not comprehend the example and the
Yes.
information.
So you have a cotton cloth, correct?
Yes.
Now, when you want to understand a cotton cloth, you see it and you understand it. You cannot first separate the cotton and then the cloth. First understand the cotton, then I will understand the cloth. Cannot say that. If you are to say like that, then first if you want to understand cotton, then assume a person doesn't know what cotton is. Then he will have to look into the elements of the cotton. Carbon or nitrogen or whatever, or in traditional terms, earth, water, fire, air, ether, whatever it is. Now, those elements may have further sub-elements which are dependent on them. Those elements may have further something sub. So, and the colors are different. Let's say cotton cloth is there. Cotton looks white. Now, what is white? You don't know. So then you have to regress into the nature of whiteness. Similarly, what is solid? Cotton cloth is solid. So you have to regress into the nature of solidness. Each of these are going to create a loop of infinite researches, infinite questions for which there is no answer.
At one stage or the other, we have to accept a Vishesha.
Ultimately, you have to say that cotton cloth is cotton cloth. They are together. I cannot separate them. I have seen cotton somewhere. I have seen cloth somewhere. Here, I am accepting cotton cloth. So it is Vishesha, it is special, which I have to accept ultimately. Okay. So there is something called Samavaya in Nayayika terms. Samavaya means nearness. Cotton and cloth are near to each other. That is why there is a cotton cloth relationship, is what they say. But the Vaishnavas don't accept Samvaya. They say that it is Swarupameva Nasti. It is constitutionally Samvaya doesn't exist at all. Because if cotton and cloth are near, how near they are? Are they sitting next to each other? Can we comprehend that? Can we understand that? There is no nearness. They are all one only. You cannot separate the two. Just that while dealing, we use the two different words. That is why Vishesha concept has to be accepted.
Like in that example, I'm just trying to understand. Like in the same, it's the same example as the mud pot. The pot is made of mud, so you have to accept that. But in the car, can you please explain with the example of mud pot how infinite loop will be?
Yes, so I say mud pot. Now we don't know what mud is still.
Okay. Oh, we don't know. That's the premise. Okay.
Yes. Means we don't know anything, Prabhuji. Somebody says mud pot. I don't know what is mud. I don't know what is pot. Now, can I separate the two? Can we do the two
Okay, I
different?
missed the premise. I understood now. I understood. Okay.
So you have to accept that this is special pot
Correct.
made of mud.
Correct.
It's not made of
Correct.
wood, or it's not.
So when
made
you are
of
explaining
metal.
something to a person for the first time and he doesn't know any basic, how do you explain until unless they accept the Vishesha? Understood. Understood.
Roshan Prabhu, you have any more questions?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, last class actually I had that Goloka Vrindavana and Vaikuntham is like whenever we go to the same, which you haven't told that one. But in last I heard that Goloka Vrindavana, when we go to the Goloka Vrindavana, when we'll never return to the this material world. Another when we go to the Vaikuntha, we will return to this material world. Is it correct, Prabhu?
No, I don't think I said that. Now comes the Jiva fall down famous issue. I'll get into controversy if I speak on this. So I'll speak on this at the end, at the end of this Vedānta Syamantaka session. Is that okay? If you all permit me.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes,
One
Prabhu.
thing.
Yes, Mohan.
So when we talk about Visishta, so for Krishna, if we take that, so the Krishna form, that will be called Visishta Roop, and the like Krishna in Vrindavan, Krishna in like Mathura, Krishna as Narayana, they will be called Vishesha with different Visheshan. Is this
No.
understanding correct?
I'll tell you. So the Rupa is Visheshan. The form is Visheshan. Just like Dandi Devadatta. Okay. Dandi Devadatta, the Danda is Visheshana and Devadatta is Visheshya. Devadatta who is holding a stick. There are three Devadattas with the same name. In India, Ramesh, Suresh, Ganesh, there are many people with the same names. Now what you say, the Ganesh who is blue shirt. Like that. So the Devadatta who is holding a stick is called Dandi Devadatta. So it becomes easy to identify. Now, when that Visheshana of Danda is there for him, that time Devadatta is Visheshya. Their combination is Vishishta. So Vishesha is a concept only. Vishesha doesn't denote the form of Krishna or Narayana. Vishesha is the concept. And Vishishta is the person Krishna, Vishishta is the person Rama, Vishishta is the person Narayana. Is it clear now, Prabhu?
Yes, it's true. It's okay.
Yes, Roshan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. About the infinite regression, for some things we cannot just it will go in the infinite regression if we just keep separating the Vishesha. So, but according to me, in some things like for matter, if we take, can we just not stop at the subatomic level or atomic level?
How do you know? Have we seen anything? We have not seen anything beyond that. There could be things though. And each of these subatomic things might have its own color. So you have to regress into the color of it. They are solid, liquid, gas. You have to regress into that of it. There are so many attributes connected to an object. If you want to talk in terms of object-oriented programming, for every object there are many attributes connected. So each attribute, how much we will go to research? We don't know much, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay.
So if all are comfortable, we will move ahead now. Now,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Prabhuji, Gaur Prabhu, please tell me.
Yeah, I have one question. It may be a little tricky
Hmm.
because you told all of us that just now, when Lord comes, he follows the rules and regulations here. When Dharma approves Dharma, because of that, he did austerity to beget a son like that. But on the other hand, he is Supreme Lord, and it doesn't mean that Lord Shiva doesn't know that he is Supreme Lord, right?
Correct.
So when he's Supreme Lord, and why he is doing this tapasya, and still in a logical way, I'm trying to know when he does, when he follows Dharma, when he show his supremacy. So how to understand?
Actually, the answer to this question is more relevant in today's context. There are so many people who don't get children, and then they do IVF, they do surrogate mother, they do so many experiments and all those things. Whereas traditionally, if they didn't get children, They would propitiate certain planets. They would worship some devatas. They would perform some yajnas, and they would do it in a dharmic way. Okay, so today people don't know all this dharma. So Krishna, at least those who are not on the path of supreme absolute truth, sakta karmanya vidvamso yatha kurvanti bharata kuryan vidvams tatas chakras chikirshu loga samram. Na buddhi vedam janet. Ordinary people don't have intelligence about what is right and what is wrong. So we should not disturb their consciousness. At least we should keep them on the path of dharma. So if Krishna demonstrates that he is going to pacify Lord Shiva and propitiate him for a child, then most of the society will at least be on Dharma Marga. They will pacify Lord such devatas, and they will get their basic necessities satisfied instead of going on the path of adharma for getting their necessities fulfilled. So that is the idea.
No, I'm
Sorry, your voice is breaking. I could not hear. Gaur Babu, not able to hear you. Hare Krishna, not able to hear you, Prabhu. Prabhu, you want to say something? I'm not able to hear you. Gaurav Prabhu. Okay, when Gaurav Prabhu comes back, we will continue. Till then, I will start the next section. So please don't mind. We are not able to hear you. So we'll start the next section now. Lakshmya Bhagavat Bhedat Eva Tadvat Tasya Vyaptihi Cha Tatraiva Smaryate. Nitya eva sa Jaganmata Vishnu Shri Anapāyini Yatha Sarvagato Vishnus Tataiva Ayam Dvijottama. Now, Ratha Damodar Swami is starting a different topic. He is telling, okay, now we understood that Narayana is supreme, Devatas are less, and there are different forms. But I found a shloka in Vishnu Purana which says that Lakshmi is all pervasive, all pervading. Now, Devatas are not all pervading, we know that. They don't have full power, we have understood that. We all accepted that. But the position of how will you explain the position of Lakshmi? Because she is eternal. Nobody can say she is not eternal. Jaganmata, mother of the whole world. Shrihi anapāyini means she is all pervasive. Yatha sarvagato Vishnu tatha eva sa dvijottama. Oh dear Brahmana, it is mentioned here that just like Vishnu is all pervasive, Lakshmi is also all pervasive. So now, what do you understand from this? If Vishnu and Lakshmi are separate, and Vishnu is superior, Lakshmi is inferior, then how will you accommodate her all pervasiveness, that she exists everywhere? At the same time, can you elevate her to the position of God, that she is the supreme Lord and she is equal to him? So that is another problem we have to deal with. In this way, the theory that Lakshmi belongs to the category of Jiva has been refuted. See, at least one thing is quite clear from this, that Lakshmi is not Jiva Tattva. She is not among the living entities. She is something superior to living entities. Shrishcha Lakshmischa Patnyam. It is mentioned in Shukla Yajurveda that Shri and Lakshmi are the two wives of Vishnu. It is also mentioned Kamala Pataye Namaha. Govinda is the husband of Lakshmi. So he is the husband of Lakshmi. Rama Manasa Hamsaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Govinda resides in the heart of Lakshmi Devi. So here it's quite clear that there is a relationship of husband and wife, or controller and controlled, between whom? Between Mahalakshmi and Supreme Lord Narayana. So now at the same time, Vishnu Purana says that even Brahma's tongue cannot describe the qualities of Mahalakshmi. So it is mentioned that whenever Vishnu takes a form, Lakshmi takes another form. She matches his form. That is the point here. So Vishnu, wherever he is there, Lakshmi is not absent at all. Wherever there is Vishnu, there is Lakshmi. So she is always present all the time. That is the, at least that much should be clear. So she is not ordinary living entity like us. We can't be everywhere. We cannot be sarvavapi. Devatas within the limit are sarvavapi. For example, they have their vyapti within a limit. For example, Devatas do control our body movements. For there is a Devata who is in charge of Vak, there is a Devata who is in charge of Shravana, there is a Devata who is in charge of Sight, and all these personalities also reside in each of our bodies and control us. They are present in the different deities in which they are worshipped. So Devatas have a bigger pervasiveness. It's not that they are limited. The Navagrahas, the 9 planets that are there, it's not that they are just in space. The devatas of those planets are also present with us and guiding us. I took a course on astrology, so this is a difficult point that they want to explain it in terms of modern science to appeal the scientific world. So generally what they would do is they would explain about the gravitational force of the planets, and in this way, just like gravitational force of sun and moon causes tides in the ocean, similarly these gravitational forces of the planets control our thought process and all those things. But actually this is not a most accurate conclusion, because that will raise many questions. Sometimes planets are retrograde, sometimes propitiation of planets using yajnas and all give better results. So all these things are difficult to understand. So these planets are personalities, and those personalities are present within us also, and based on our birth chart, they act in a particular way and influence us in a particular way. So definitely the devatas have their pervasiveness, they have their vyapti bigger than what we have. But still, they cannot be sarva-vyapta. They cannot be present everywhere. The person who is present everywhere is Vishnu. Now, it's not just Vishnu, but Lakshmi Devi also who is present everywhere. That is the point we have to understand here. She is a giver of liberation, source of knowledge, and controller of Hari, it's mentioned here. Her glance bestows health, wealth, virtue, and liberation. When she withdraws, the world collapses. When she returns, prosperity resumes. So all these points are mentioned here, and none of these points can be attributed to Jiva. They should always be attributed to Mahalakshmi only. So earlier I had explained the concept of Paradhina Vishesha. Praja Vinod Prabhu, whatever is discussed till now, you have something to say?
Yes, Prabhu, your explanation triggered a question.
Hmm.
So I don't know whether it is relevant. You can decide whether to answer it or not answer it. See, when you say that the different devatas are there in us, it triggered a question. I think about how there was an Amsha of Indra in Arjuna. Like that, we say that the Amsha of Dharma was there in Yudhishthira. Like that, many places we say that is Amsha. Even Ramananda Rai is Amsha of so many. Like that, we have different combinations. So my
Yeah.
question is now, since the Nayanam Chindanti Shastrani, when the soul cannot be cut, how can the soul or the how can Indra have his representation as a part of an Indra in Arjuna? Is my question.
Yes. Now, based on past 2 classes, can you answer that question?
I heard the Visheshta. I understand that it is Visheshta. I could comprehend one answer on my own, but I would request you to elaborate on it.
Yes, yes, definitely. It's a Vishesha Rupa, which is non-different from the Indra or non-different from the Shiva. Shiva is the Abhimani, the Devata for mind, Manasu. If our mind has to be in order, Lord Shiva's mercy has to be there. So similarly, our vitality, our strength is because of Indra. So each of these things are governed by particular deities, and their Vishesha form, their special forms organize certain things in our body. So the Amshas that are there in Pandavas, they are slightly different, because for us in our body, they are in charge of only small faculties. Whereas these Amshas, they were in charge of the whole body and the decisions they take and everything they do in life. So that was a different form altogether.
Mm. So, similarly, how do you say that Advaita Acharya had the combination of Vishnu and Shiva together? So, how can there be combination in a jiva? What does it mean? Is what I'm trying to.
Actually, Madhvacharya has explained this in quite detail that it is not that we are just, for a person who is possessed, we know that people get possessed, right? So
Yes.
there are ghosts who influence them, there are other personalities who influence them,
Correct.
like that. So similarly, it can happen that multiple personalities can influence, and that is how they act in a particular way. Kamsa. Madhvacharya explains that Kamsa was meditating on Krishna all the time. But then we very well know that because of his meditation on Krishna, he got liberated. But at the same time, how can a person who does so many wrongs get liberated? So he explains that there are two souls. One soul which was destined to hellish life, and one soul which was meditating on Krishna had to go to superior life. So that concepts can definitely exist in the body. So two amshas can definitely exist, and they make the person behave differently.
Okay.
So now coming back to Lakshmi Devi, how can it happen that this is a little slippery slope, because many people are in a hurry to conclude on this. That is why I want to take it little carefully, not too much hurry. Here, what it appears, if we just read the English translations of it, if we just go through the English of it, what it appears is that some of the transcendental qualities, such as being the giver of liberation and bringing Lord Hari under her control, are mentioned in the Vishnu Purana. Atma Vidya cha Devi Tvam Vimukta Phaladayini Katvanya Tvam Rate Devi Sarvayajna Maya Vapu Adhyaste Deva Devasya Yogi Chintyam Gadabrata Tvaya Devi Parityaktam Sakalam Bhuvanatrayam Vinashta Abhavat Tvayedanim Sameditam Darah Putras Garam Suruddhanya Dhanadikam Bhavatyetan Mahabhage Nityam Tva Vikshanan Ranam. Okay, it's a big thing. So overall, it says, "O goddess, you are spiritual knowledge personified and giver of fruits of liberation. Who else besides you sits on the lap of Vishnu, the god of gods, whose body is the embodiment of all sacrifices and is meditated upon yogis? O goddess, having been given up by you, the three worlds were almost completely annihilated, but they have now become prosperous. O virtuous one, by your glance, men always obtain wives, sons, houses, friends, grains, wealth, and so on. O goddess, bodily health, opulence, happiness, and destruction of enemies are not difficult to attain for those who have received your glance. Qualities like goodness, truthfulness, cleanliness, and virtue immediately desert those who have been abandoned by you, O spotless one. Although devoid of good qualities, those who are glanced upon by you immediately acquire all good qualities such as virtue and obtain riches and noble family." We see this in famous photo in everyone's house, right? Mahalakshmi is blessing, and a lot of money is coming from her hands. So the idea is that a lot of money will come by worshipping Mahalakshmi. A person glanced upon by you is praiseworthy, virtuous, fortunate, well-born, intelligent, brave, and heroic. O Mother of the Universe, O beloved of Vishnu, if you are averse to someone, virtue and all other qualities of such a person immediately become null and void. So, how can Lakshmi bestow so many benedictions and she have so much strength? Okay, and she is also all pervasive. So somewhere it hints that is there an independent existence of Lakshmi Devi? If there is an independent existence of Lakshmi Devi, then all that we have discussed today till now, that there is one Parabrahman, there is one Supreme, somehow that concept gets lost. Okay. So little bit we have to be careful in this conclusion, because many a times I have seen some commentaries and some translations and all those things. Ultimately, this Vraja Bhava. What is the Vraja Bhava? That Radha is controlling Krishna. Correct. Radha it controls Krishna by love. So that Vraja Bhava takes over our Tattva so much that we ultimately want to be in a too hurry to prove that somehow this Radha is superior to Krishna and Lakshmi is superior to Vishnu. So, but then we should handle it carefully in terms of Tattva. Just a minute. Mohan, bring my book, Prameya Ratnavali, English. Okay, so we should not miss the tattva, the concept of truth, what reality is, what is the position of whom in the process of being too hurried to establish one point. So this section is discussed in Brahma Sutras, and before that I will read Srimad Bhagavatam 6.19.13. Translation. Mother Lakshmi, who is here, is the reservoir of all spiritual qualities, whereas you manifest and enjoy all these qualities. Indeed, you are actually the enjoyer of everything. You live as the supersoul of all living entities and the goddess of fortune in the form of their bodies, senses, and mind. She also has a holy name and form, whereas you are the support of all such names and forms and the cause of their manifestation. Prameya Ratnavali book. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. So, purport. Madhvacharya, the Acharya of the Tattva, has described this verse in the following way. Vishnu is described as Yajna personified and Mother Lakshmi is described as spiritual activities and the original form of worship. In fact, they represent spiritual activities and the supersoul of all Yajna. Lord Vishnu is the supersoul even of Lakshmi Devi, but no one can be the supersoul of Lord Vishnu. For Lord Vishnu himself is the spiritual supersoul of everyone. According to Madhvacharya, there are two tattvas or factors. One is independent and the other is dependent. The first tattva is Supreme Lord Vishnu and the second is Jiva Tattva. Lakshmi Devi, being dependent on Lord Vishnu, is sometimes counted among Jiva Tattvas. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, however, describe Lakshmi Devi in accordance with the following two verses from the Prameya Ratnavali of Baldev Vidyabhushan. The first verse is a quotation from Vishnu Purana. Nityaiva sa Jaganmata Vishnu Shri Anapāyini Yatha Sarvagato Vishnus Tathaivayam Dvijottamam. Vishnusyu Shaktayas Tisras Tasau Ya Kirita Para Saiva Shrist Tadabhinneti Praha Shishyan Prabhur Mahan. O best of the Brahmanas, Lakshmi Ji is the constant companion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, and therefore she is called Anapāyini. She is the mother of all creation. As Lord Vishnu is all-pervading, his spiritual potency, Mother Lakshmi, is also all-pervading. Lord Vishnu has three principal potencies, internal, external, and marginal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has accepted Parashakti, the spiritual energy of the Lord, as being identical with the Lord. Thus, she is also included in the independent Vishnu Tattva. Okay. Now, what it mentions here is that what Prabhupada is trying to tell that sometimes the difference between Vishnu and Lakshmi, people take it to the extent where they start considering her to be among the Jiva Tattvas, the topmost of the Jivas. Okay, so here Prabhupada describes that Madhvacharya has described about two tattvas. Swatantram, Aswatantram, Dividam Tattvam Ishyate, Swatantro Bhagavan Vishnu, Bhava Bhavo Dvidattata. This is the shloka in the Tattva Sankhyanam. The first shloka in the Tattva Sankhyanam book of Madhvacharya says there are two tattvas. One is Swatantra Tattva and one is Aswatantra Tattva. And Swatantra Tattva is Bhagavan Vishnu. That's all he has described. He has not described further. Then when he explains about this, Dukkha Sprushta, Dukkha Asprishta, there are two more. One is touched by sorrow and other is not touched by sorrow. Dukkha Asprishta Ramanyetu. Lakshmi is the only one who is not touched by sorrow. That's how he describes. But now, some people, by studying these books, not Madhvacharya, but some people by studying these books, they interpret this to mean that Lakshmi Devi is not Narayana. That is why she becomes Jiva Tattva. Okay, so that is a wrong conclusion which we understand from this, because she is also anapāyini. She is identical to Vishnu in the sense that she is all pervading. She has so many powers everywhere. So that is the point we should understand. Although some authoritative Vaishnavi disciplic successors count the goddess of fortune among the ever-liberated living entities in Vaikuntha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in accordance with the statement in Vishnu Purana, has described Lakshmi as being identical with Vishnu Tattva. So here, identical with Vishnu Tattva. Now that should not take us to understanding that she is Vishnu. Some people have concluded this also. Just like some people have concluded that she is Jiva Tattva. Similarly, some people, because of these shlokas, have concluded that she is Vishnu Tattva. Now, that mistake also we should not do. We should not consider that she is same as Vishnu Tattva. Okay, how to understand that? Okay, for Brahma Sutra 4.2.7, in the commentary of that, Madhvacharya explains. So this is a section where Pralaya, the concept of Pralaya is explained. So during Pralaya, what happens is first everything gets destroyed. And when everything gets destroyed, after that, the elements start merging into one another. Initially, in the second canto of Bhagavatam, we have seen that how from space, air comes, from air, fire comes, fire, water comes, water, earth comes, and earth starts manifesting into other things. So in the process of Laya or Pralaya, it's the reverse that happens. The earth gets merged into water. And once the earth gets merged into water, the water transforms into fire. And the fire again becomes transformed into air. Finally, that air gets merged into space. So this is the reverse that is happening. So ultimately, all the elements are destroyed at the Pralaya. So when it is mentioned that all the elements are described, Madhvacharya explains in the this in his Anuvyakhyana that this destruction doesn't happen to Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi, she continues to exist and she doesn't get destroyed because Narayana is there. So when the whole day of Vishnu, the day of Brahma is over, all the jivas come and enter the stomach of Mahavishnu. And Brahma goes to take rest. When Brahma wakes up in the morning, again the creation happens, all the jivas are injected back. Similarly, when Brahma's life is over, everything is destroyed. It is just one breathing of Mahavishnu and breathing back. So when he breathes back, all the universes are again destroyed. Then the amount of breathing he did, that much amount there is of time, again there is no creation. Then the next creation happens once again. So till that time, Vishnu is sitting and Mahalakshmi is sitting with him. Her head is on his shoulder, and in this way she is sitting. So it is not that Mahalakshmi is doing that for giving him happiness, because she is getting happiness from that association with the Lord. So that is the point here, that even at Pralaya, Mahalakshmi is not destroyed. But at the same time, she is not Swatantra, she is not independent. She is dependent on the Lord. So Vishnu is the super soul of Mahalakshmi also, but there is no super soul for Vishnu. That is the point we have to understand. Whether you are a Indra or whether you are Chandra or whether you are Brahma, ultimately everyone will be destroyed at Pralaya. But Mahalakshmi doesn't get destroyed at Pralaya because she is not a Jiva Tattva, she doesn't have karma, or she is not influenced by Maya. That is the point. Because she is not influenced by Maya, her destruction is not there. So the only truly independent reality is Vishnu, and the eternal dependent is Lakshmi, because she is eternally dependent on him and she is flawless, she is divine, she has the qualities similar to Narayana. Okay, so that is the point. Whereas Jivas are not like that. Jivas are dependent souls. So here, what you should understand by our pervasiveness is when Narayana takes the form of Lord Ramachandra, Mahalakshmi takes the form of Sita. When Krishna appears on the earth, Krishna appears, Rukmini also appears along with him. And when Supreme Lord appears as Varaha, Lakshmi Devi appears to satisfy him. When Supreme Lord appears as Narasimha, Lakshmi Devi again takes a form to satisfy him. So for every avatara, there is a form of Lakshmi Devi that comes. So just like there are many avatars of Vishnu, it is not just one Brahmajyoti, one light of all pervasiveness. All pervasiveness is through the Paramatma feature and through the different avatars. In this way, there is all pervasiveness. Correct. So similarly, Mahalakshmi's all pervasiveness is also as being the wife of Vishnu in all those different forms. So that wife relationship will be there. So the all pervasiveness has to be explained with the background of the husband-wife relationship or the dependent protector relationship. Then only this understanding will be clear. So without this philosophical backing, we should not too much in a hurry to conclude on this. Okay. We will see some more things from Prameya Ratnavali because Prabhupada cites Prameya Ratnavali. So we will see from the context of Prameya Ratnavali also. Ekopi Vishnur Ekapi Lakshmi Tat Anapāyini. So this is the shloka that there is only one Vishnu and there is only one Lakshmi, and she is anapāyini. She is what is that? She is eternally connected with him. She is not undergoing any distraction. So here it's mentioned that Lord Vishnu's manifoldness, despite his oneness, is described in Gopala Tapani Upanishad. Krishna is only all-pervasive, worshipable, supreme Lord. Although one he appears as many, the wise who worship the Supreme Lord, who is situated in the highest abode, attains everlasting happiness and not the others. So this one Lord appears in many forms, and being appearing in many forms, he is worshipped that way. So those who know this, they understand the point that we are not, again the concept of Vishesha. It's not that we are taking different forms or different lords. It is the one Supreme Lord who is worshipped here. So Parasya Shakti Vividai Shruyate, we have already seen that there are many forms of the Lord. So here in the Kantimala, they give an example that the Kantimala is the explanation of what is that Vedānta Prameya Ratnavali book. So here it's mentioned that just like a jewel appears differently when united with blue or yellow objects, the all-powerful Vishnu assumes different forms according to different meditation. So in today's age, we don't see so many such jewels, whereas there are some jewels, when they are there, and if you bring a red color object near it, so it completely starts becoming red. If you bring a green color object, the jewel starts becoming green. So it completely depends on the object like that. So similarly, Lord Vishnu appears in different forms according to the tapasya of different people. Just like Sutapa and Prishni, they performed austerities and they got a chance in 3 lifetimes to get the Supreme Lord. So once they got as Krishnagarbha, second they got as Vamana, and third time they got as Sri Krishna only. So based on their meditation, Krishna allowed. Similarly, there were 2 more sages, Dhara and Drona. So Drona and Dhara performed great austerities, and they also got a chance to have Krishna as their Supreme Lord as their son. Where did they get? Anybody knows? Anybody knows about it? So this Drona and Dhara, they took the form of Nanda and Yashoda, and in this way, they got a chance to serve Krishna as his parents. So based on the meditation of the Lord is there. Now this Prameya Ratnavali, there are further points in this Kantimala commentary. Ekam eva param tattvam purushottama tasya striyuttamayaha cha dvedha prakashyate. Whereas this commentary, the author of this book says it doesn't seem to be so authentic. The idea that Lakshmi and Vishnu are just one and they are appearing as two. The fact that it is mentioned here that they are one and appearing as two. This is not Baldeva's, but this is a Baldevidya Bhushan's, or this is not Radha Damodara Goswami's, but some commentary on that. Whereas this part seems to be inserted that They are all one in all respects. So that we have to be little careful when we study this sections. Even though in all avatars, Vishnu and Lakshmi are equally complete, nevertheless, there is a gradation affected by manifestation or non-manifestation of these powers. Regarding Lord Vishnu avatars being complete in all aspects, that is described in the Vajasaniya branch of the Vedas as follows. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vishishyate. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 5.1.1. The original Supreme Lord is complete, hence his avatar form is complete. Whatever emanates from the complete is manifest as complete. When the complete form of the complete disappears into the complete, only the original complete remains. So, we have earlier discussed about the different srishtis or different creations. Anybody remembers that? So there is a Shuddha Srishti, then there is Pradhina Vishesha Vapti Srishti. Okay, and then there is Jada Srishti. Means the Shuddha Srishti is what? The forms of the Lord as Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Shankarshana, Vasudeva, Chaturvyuha. And apart from that, the different Dashavataras, the Sahasranama, the 1,000 forms of Vishnu, all these things, they are not less than the Lord. They are equal to the Supreme Lord only, but still they are having different forms. Okay, for the sake of manifesting Vishesha, they are having the different forms. Now, when the universe is again annihilated, these forms eventually merge in Vishnu. So there is no destruction by dint of karma or something like that. It is just that it's merger and appearance, that's all. Just like the Lord's avatars come. It is an appearance and it's a merger back. There is no destruction or production. So that is Shuddha Srishti. Then there is Paradhina Vishesha Vakti Srishti. Paradhina Vishesha Vakti means that certain things are eternal. You cannot say that they have been created at a point of time. Still, you have to understand that Vishnu is the cause and the source of everything, right? So, within eternity also you can state, we can establish how Vishnu is the cause. That process, that concept is called Pradhina Visheshavakti. For example, Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi, we saw that she is merciful on all living beings. She wants to take care of them. She wants to nurture them spiritually. She wants to make sure that everyone is happy materially also. That is because she is a mother, Jagan Mata. Because being the mother, she wants to take care or she wants to give that motherly love to all living entities. Now, a mother is a mother when they are children. So only when there are children, that is the mother relationship is there. So when this creation happened, when the jivas were injected, that is when her motherness manifested. Correct. So this whole process is Paradina Vishesha Rupa, the special form of Lakshmi Devi as mother with relationship with jivas existed when jivas got bodies and when they started living here. So that way, Lakshmi is not created at any point of time, but she gets the special form, Lakshmitva. The quality of Lakshmitva is caused because of Narayana's creation. Similarly, the Vedas. Vedas are eternal. They are never created by the Supreme Lord. So this is one understanding which people have to be very clear about, that even Supreme Lord has not created the Vedas. But in every kalpa, the Hayagriva breathes out or some other form of the Lord reveals the Vedas to different rishis. So when they are revealed, whatever is necessary for that part of time, only those sections of the eternal Vedas are revealed. So now that special sections which are created, they form the Paradina Vishesha Rupa. Vishesha Rupa Adhina of the Lord. Dependent on the Lord, a special form of Vedas is created. So that is why we sometimes say Vishnu is the cause, but he is not the cause in a way that he manufactured at a point of time before that Vedas did not exist. Not like that. Vedas are eternal, but a special form manifested. So similarly, the Jivas also. Jivas are conditioned. Being conditioned, they want to enjoy in this world. So that conditioning of theirs is manifest along with the world, along with this objects of enjoyment. We have this object of enjoyment, that is that gives birth to our enjoying propensity also. Of course, enjoying propensity is because of conditioning in the jiva, independent of the Lord. But at the same time, the enjoying propensity is useful, can be taken into action when the world exists. So that way, for jivas also, to manifest that jivatva, Lord only should be the cause. Without Lord being the cause, the jivatva, the jiva property is not manifested in them. So that way he is the cause of the jivas, not that he has manufactured the souls at some point of time, or we try to speculate that no, when there was no time, the time Lord manifest. When there was no time, that time. Again, it's a flawed sentence. It's a logically flawed sentence, because when there was no time, there is no question of that time. When there was no space, there Lord stayed. So there, when you say, that is a flawed point, flawed thing, because when there was no space, there is no question of there and here. So these hypothetical things don't exist. But Paradina Vishesha Vapti is the most logical way to explain the concepts of achintya, things which are not conceivable, when it happened and all these things. So now, in the previous section, we also discussed that Lord is the Upadana, Nimitta Karana, because Parabrahma cannot undergo change. But the Vishesha Rupa in Prakriti is because of the desire of the Lord. That way Lord becomes the Upadana, means that way he is the Karana of transformation of Prakriti. He doesn't himself transform himself into Prakriti, but he is the cause for the transformation of Prakriti, for Prakriti to get its guna and transformation. So again, that Vishesha Vapti, Paradhina Vishesha Rupa has to be understood in this regard. So similarly, the number of forms that Narayana takes, he takes unlimited forms. Each of these forms, Lakshmi comes and serves. And that way, personally, Lakshmi and Narayana are separately existing. And in this way, she is Sarva-Vyapini, all-pervading, as a servitor of Vishnu. It's not that there is some one tattva of Lakshmi Vishnu combined or merger of one which serves. So this is a one subtle point we have to be very careful in understanding. Lakshmi is Vishnu's internal potency, Parashakti. She is not merged, not lost, and not a subordinate like Jivas. Her identity remains intact and divine. That is a very important point. We should understand that. On one hand, she is not Jiva. When you say she is not identical, she is not become Vishnu, then we will conclude that she is Jiva. No, she is not Jiva. On the other hand, she is not merged into Vishnu. Okay. She is not the supreme. But she is all-pervading still. How she is all-pervading? She has that special strength that wherever Vishnu comes, she comes. Wherever Vishnu is, she is. When everything is destroyed, Jivas may lose their bodies, but she doesn't lose her body. So this is the concept of Mahalakshmi that we have to understand from this. Till now, there are any questions you can ask me, because then there will be some other point more detailed than this.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, any doubt till now?
So, what was so? Does this also means we say that this material world is the apara Shakti of the Lord? Ma Durga, we denote this material world by the energy of Ma Durga, and we say that Durga is the consort of Sadashiva. So does the expansion of Lakshmi with the Vishnu, does this also apply to this material world?
Lord Vishnu comes into this material world in every atom. Okay. So when he comes into every atom, that time Lakshmi Devi also comes with him. That is true. When we say that there is a Sadashiva form of Vaikuntha, sometimes it is thought like that there is a Sadashiva form in Vaikuntha also. Okay. So that Sadashiva is Sarvashabda Vachakatvat Vishnu. There is Vishnu who is called Shiva, because Vishnu is all auspicious. So that Vishnu is called Shiva is there in the spiritual world. It is not the Rudra of the material world who is born from Indra or any of his original Shaktis or any of his original Rupa, not like that. the Supreme Lord, if you want to designate. There are all Adi Devatas. For each of the demigods, they have position in spiritual world also. They are Adi Devas. They are the original demigods. Okay. So there is the original Chandra, there is the original Kubera, there is the original Yama, who are eternally there in the spiritual world also. But then in the material world, the devatas are posts. They are not eternal positions. They are posts which will be occupied by some people. Similarly, Shiva, when he comes to this world, it will be a post. It will be occupied by somebody. Durga is also a post. It will be occupied by somebody. One thing you should understand, that there is a Bimba Pratibimba Bhava that Madhvacharya explains. Bimba Pratibimba Bhava means the theory of reflection. When we stand in front of the mirror, there is a reflection, and that reflection is dependent on us. As long as we are there, the reflection exists. So the bodies that people get, each body is dependent on a superior body. They are not independent. It's not that each body is independently functioning. They are dependent on their superior counterparts. Ultimately, they are dependent on Narayana. So that way the dependency exists. So similarly, Durga's dependency on Lakshmi exists. We cannot say Durga is Lakshmi. That is how we should understand. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, one more thing. So, who is the consort of Sadashiva?
Which Sadashiva you are calling? I spoke about two Sadashivas.
The Vaikuntha one means the
The
one who
Vaikuntha
counted.
is Vishnu only is called Sadashiva because Sarva Shabda Vachakatva. All words denote Vishnu only. So Shiva, when we say most auspicious, he is Vishnu only. So ultimately the Vaikuntha, it is the Vishnu only who is called Shiva, and his consort will be Mahalakshmi.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay.
Okay. Now, see, although there is no difference between the different forms of the Lord, and each of them we all agree that each of them should be treated as supreme only. You should not reduce one and increase other. On the concept of Vishesha, some special forms manifest. So similarly, we saw that there are 4 special qualities which are manifest in the form of Krishna, which are not manifest in Vishnu because of Vishesha. Because as Narayana, he doesn't want to do that Rasalila, but as Krishna, he wants to do it. So when gopis, they see the form of Narayana, they don't get that feeling of affection as they get for Krishna. They pay obeisances to him, and after they pay obeisances to him, they request, "My dear Lord, where is Krishna? We are searching for him." So that is the same. Krishna takes the form of Narayana, but they don't want that relationship with him. So the Vishesha form of Krishna in Gokula, that form is something which is the origin of all rasas. So raso vayasaha. So all the rasas have their origin in the Vishesha form of Krishna. So unless now when you accept Vishesha, you should accept that there is a form which has manifested more rasas. We are not saying that is less supreme or more supreme, but he has manifested more rasas. So that makes that form special also. Just like a lamp, there are many lamps lit in a room, but then there is one lamp which has lit all the other lamps. So similarly, there is one form of Krishna which has manifested that superiority of rasas which other forms have not manifested. In Narsimha Leela, there is no Sakya rasa, or there is no what is that, Madhurya rasa. There may be some Vatsalya rasa, we don't know, because he was born from the nose of Brahma. We don't know that. So could be there. Sorry, in Varaha Avatar. In Narsimha Avatar, he was born from a pillar. He was not having any father. So in Varaha Avatar, he was born from nose of Brahma. So we don't know. There might be a Vatsalya rasa. But all rasas are not manifest all the time because they are not necessary while dealing with those devotees. So when Krishna Rupa you are manifesting, so in matters of rasa, he is demonstrating that he is superior in rasa. He is not superior in tattva, but he demonstrates that rasa. And if you don't accept Vishesha, if you don't accept Vishesha Padartha, then there is a flaw again. Just like you cannot separate silk from cloth. but still you recognize that it is a silk cloth which is special. The silk element is special in this cloth. I am not able to separate it, but there is a special silk element here. Similarly, there is a special two-handed form which does Raslila. You cannot deny that. As long as you accept the concept of Vishesha, you must accept that there is a special form of two-handed which demonstrates more rasas. So that is where, in terms of rasa, there is something which is more special, something which is differently special. So in that concept, we do understand that Krishna has a special form. Now, when Krishna manifests this two-handed form in Vrindavan, that is when Mahalakshmi's original form of Sri Radha also manifests. So this Radha is the original, just like Krishna is the origin of all rasas, and that way he is the origin in Narayana. Similarly, Radha is the Adi Lakshmi. She is the origin of the Lakshmi Tattva. Again, we are not saying that Radha is a particular entity who is superior and Mahalakshmi is a particular entity who is inferior. That is a flawed conclusion. There was a discussion, there was a recording some time ago in a different sampradaya where they had questioned the Gaudiya stand of Radharani. They had told that who is this Radha Tattva, some Jiva, some living entity, whereas our Lakshmi is Mahalakshmi. And in the same talk, they agree that one of the names of Lakshmi is Radha. One of the names of Lakshmi is Radha. So, and anybody who embraces Krishna, he cannot do it unless Lakshmi's Amsha is there in them. Any female who embraces Krishna does so because of Lakshmi's Amsha in them. That is why all the gopis, they have that Amsha of Lakshmi in them, due to which they are able to embrace Krishna. So that is what is accepted in them. But however, these sections like Purusha Bodhini Upanishad, here it's mentioned in Vrindavana, which is situated near the area of Mathura called Gokula, at the foot of a desert tree, in the middle of a 1,000-petal lotus, Govinda stands on a filament amidst the 8 petals. His two-handed dark complexion body is dressed in yellow garments. He wears a peacock feather on his head and holds a flute and a cane in his hands. He is devoid of material qualities, but full of transcendental qualities, devoid of a material body, but endowed with a spiritual body, free from the material activities, but engaged in divine pastimes. At his two sides stand Sri Radhika and Sri Chandravali, whose expansions are personified energies like Lakshmi and Durga. It is also confirmed by the words of Sukadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4. Nirasta samyati shayena Radha sa swadhamini Brahmani Rasyamate Namaha. Obeisances unto Supreme Lord, who sports in his own abode in the spiritual sky, along with Sri Radha, who is devoid of any equal or superior. So, the Shastras clearly speak about this, that there is a special form of Krishna. Taramadde, what is that? Ashtadale Beshtita, Ashtadale Pradhan Naika, Taramadde Simhasane, Boshiyate Juinjane, Shamasangya Sundari Radhika. So this Sundari Radhika, one special form of Radhika is there. She is sitting along with Shama. So this is very much in Shastras all these things is very much based on Shastra Pramana, and nothing is devoid of Shastra. So the position of Radha is very much is not a separate entity from Lakshmi. She is the original Lakshmi, fullest expression, embodying all divine qualities, just like Krishna and Vishnu are the same, but still Krishna manifests certain Visheshas. Similarly, Radha is the Vishesha manifestation of Lakshmi and not different from him. So she is the topmost divine feminine, eternally united with Krishna. So that is the point we have to understand. There are more pramanas which we will discuss about the superiority of Radharani and her position before we end this Ishvara Prameya. Okay, so till now, whatever we have discussed, if you have any questions, please let me know. Was this okay? Was this understandable?
Super clear, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Prabhu, when you explained the concept of Vishesha with respect to the Lord, it is understandable because the Lord has in his different forms, he is the same person. But when we use the analogies of other objects, means it is confusing to me. Like the silk cloth, like so how there are different Visheshas. For Lord, we can understand that there are different Visheshas because same Lord manifesting different qualities, Visheshans. But how we apply it to other objects, I'm
So when
unclear.
we say beautiful boy, can we separate the beauty and the boy? Can we make them two different? Cannot, right? Both of them are the same person. His boy is also same and beautiful is very much closely connected with him. We cannot separate him from that. Similarly, green book, we cannot separate the green from the book. It is a green book, it's a green book, we have to accept it. So it is just that I am giving special description for others to identify it nicely. Child goes to the next room. I tell him, bring the green book. Again, Lakshana, first class. We told Lakshana, no? So what is the purpose of giving the right Lakshana? To cancel the wrong ones and get the right one. Correct. So similarly, when I say green book, then the child gets the right book. He doesn't get the wrong book. Now, that green is an identify factor just to make it special. That book and identify. Similarly, the different forms of the Lord, they are just identifying factors of speciality. That's how we have to understand.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? What do you feel about these sessions? Are they interesting? Are they giving some clarity?
Very, very interesting for me. Thank you so much.
Yes, Prabhu, interesting, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Prabhuji, you are just targeting the basic questions.
Your voice is low, Roshan Prabhu.
I'm saying, Prabhuji, you are targeting the basic questions that we have in doubt and like we want the answer to, but we don't know it.
Yes. We have to discuss more about Radha because Radha is a confusing point outside the Gaudiya Parampara, inside the Gaudiya Parampara also. So we will clarify that in tomorrow's session and we will end this. We hopefully, Krishna willing, we will end this section tomorrow. Okay, anything else? We still have time, 5 minutes time.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, now actually what we now heard, I mean, the loka of Sadashiva loka and the Vaikuntha loka. Sorry, in Sadashiva loka also, Shiva forms in Goloka, yeah? I'm asking question of that.
Shiva
I mean,
form?
they are eternally in Goloka also. Yeah, in Vaikuntha loka.
No, when you go cross the Viraja river and you cross the
Okay.
Brahmajyoti, there is a Sadashiva Loka. In that Sadashiva Loka, the Vishesha form of Vishnu, who is named Shiva, resides there. It is not the Rudra of the material world who resides there.
Okay.
So it's Vishnu, and that Vishnu is named Shiva, he is named Indra, he is named Brahma, he can be named Mahesha. Vishnu can be named anything that we have discussed previously. That is Sarva
Yeah.
Shabda Pachakatvat. Ultimately, all words denote Vishnu. So this Vishnu,
Yeah.
who is having the name Sadashiva, he resides there in the Vaikuntha.
Okay. Then in Vaikuntha, sorry, in what Kubera Loka, Kubera is there, no? One in Kubera Loka. He's also in resident in Shiva also there.
Which Kubera, the owner of the western direction?
No, now
Sorry, the northern direction.
actually seven this one Atala Patala Sutala Atala, it is down. Upstakes, what we go call Satyaloka, Maharloka, Shiva
Right.
Loka,
Yes.
then Vaikuntha Loka, like that it is, bro.
No. There is Bhu, Bhuvaha,
Yeah,
Swaha.
in that Shivaloka also is there. And my question is that one.
No, one thing
Okay.
to
Bhu,
clarify.
Bruha, Swaha. Okay.
One thing I'll clarify. In the material world, there are 7
Yeah.
planetary systems up, 7 down. Okay, 14 planetary systems.
Okay.
And each have different abodes for different devatas. Okay, first
Yes, bro.
33 crore devatas. Then there are Dikpalakas, the owners of different directions. Okay.
Okay.
For example, for the eastern direction, there is Indra. And for the
Okay.
Vayavya, for Agneya, there is Agni Devata. Then for south, it is Yamaraja. And for Nirutti, there is Nirutti. And for west, there is, what is his name? Is Soma. And for Vayavya is Vayu. And then there is Kubera. And after Kubera, ultimately, it is Rudra, who is in Ishanya. On top, it is Brahma. And other, it is, what is that? Shesha. So there are Dikpalakas for all these things. So each of them have their different abodes, different planets, but they are all in the material world only. And they are all temporary. One day they will be destroyed. After this Manvantara, new people will take that post. Now, Asmat, what is that? Vyakta Sanatana, Yasa Sarveshu Bhuteshu, Nashyatsu na Vinashyati. Tasmat Parataram Anyo, Vyaktat Sanatana, Yasa Sarveshu Bhuteshu na Vinashyati. Means when this whole material thing is destroyed, the spiritual world is not destroyed. So in the spiritual world also there are Adi Devatas. There are original forms of Devatas in the spiritual world also. And these original Devatas which are there in spiritual world are eternally serving Sri Hari. They will not get destroyed. They are eternal.
Okay.
But they are not supreme. They are servants of Sri Hari. They are servants of Supreme Lord.
Okay. Okay, bro. I mean, even jivas, when they progress in their spiritual life, and we can that how they take that post well in this while going the spirituality, practicing this devotional service.
No, the jivas also, there are certain yajnas recommended to get. For example, if you do 100 Ashwamedha yajna, you will get the post of Indra because he is called Shatakrato. 100 yajnas he has done, Ashwamedha yajnas. That is why he has got this post. Similarly, there are others, other qualifications to get other positions, but then they will all eventually be destroyed. Only the spiritual practices are going to take us to the spiritual world where there is no return back to this.
Okay, bro. Thank you, bro.
Anything else to be asked before we close?
Hare Krishna, bro.
Yes, please.
So the case of Kansa you quoted, like the two souls staying in a body and like they got different destinations. So is it normal, like normal living entities? Because we tell it's like ghostly haunted or something when two living entities are in control of one body.
Whether ordinary living entity be commonly possessed by two souls, I don't know. We are not sure. I don't know so much about it, nor has been commented by any acharya. I have not come across comment by any acharya that ordinary living entities are always possessed. Some souls we know they are possessed. Some people we know they are clearly possessed. Sometimes some devi comes or some ghost comes and they possess them and they make them behave differently. But whether everyone is possessed like that, I'm not sure.
It was only in case of Kansa, as you quoted too.
Kamsa it was there. Putana also Madhvacharya explains.
Okay, bro.
So, okay, Prabhu, so if nothing else is there, we'll end it today. Tomorrow we'll discuss more about Radha, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vishnavebhyo Namo, Ananta Koti Vaishnavindaki.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.